Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. A reminder, as always, that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Happy to have you guys in after this long week of trading, pretty much hugging on range lows. Are we out of the woods yet? Will this Asia bounce hold? All questions that we're going to get to at some point on this call. But yeah, guys, I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Max for this fantastic Friday show. And I hope you have all had a great week as well. We're going to start cooking some alpha for you guys, get you guys prepared for your weekend and hopefully the next few weeks as well. Got the Bitcoin halving in less than 24 hours, I believe. Maybe it hasn't already happened, right? I don't think it already has, but very, very soon. I see Tucker smiling at me. I know he knows the answer.
We
But
got it in like 10 hours.
10 hours. I figured it was really close. What a day. What a day. We got the Bitcoin halving within 24 hours officially. We gave a nice squeeze off the low. Going to be interested to see how we end up resolving from that. But yeah, guys, before we start cooking, before we start sharing that big juicy alpha with you guys on how we're viewing the market, and of course, this recent lower time frame squeeze, we always appreciate when you guys can smash that like button. And it's Friday, it's the end of the week. I know you guys are in, I was like, why wouldn't you be in a great mood on a Friday, right? Like, why wouldn't you be? So smash that like button for us so we don't have to bug you. We don't have to show you any soybeans, any lean hog futures on a Friday.
What about cotton candy futures, Tommy?
Yeah,
That's true. We did find like the altcoin of the sugar market last night when we were trying to figure out how we were going to troll you guys into hitting the like button more frequently. But yeah, I'm sure we'll end up putting on obscure commodities at some point. I'm sure, unless you guys can prove me wrong. But yeah, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin. We got a nice move off the low. We're holding it thus far in New York session. You have equities, which I guess they're pretty much flat on the day. But I think the more important thing as far as Bitcoin's concerned is that the S&P is not really selling aggressively at this point. It looks like it's trying to carve out a low, right? You would hope that this isn't a slow bleed into support that leads to further selling, but a slow bleed into support that leads to a bottoming formation. Obviously, Bitcoin has somewhat telegraphed a similar move should the S&P replicate it, right? Bitcoin's been chopping around at the lows for the last few days. We got a nice squeeze off the low overnight in Asia session. I guess you could say we dumped because of news on the war. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. All that matters is positioning at the end of the day. And reality is we had a lot of people short into the hole. They are now currently underwater. And you look at the overall market structure of Bitcoin too. You now have not just yesterday's shorts underwater, but pretty much the entirety of this week. So from a positioning standpoint, it does seem that the bulls are in probably a bit more of a favorable spot here heading into Friday's session and, of course, the weekend. But yeah, guys, I don't know that it's going to bring a ton of relief for altcoins just yet. I do think that it probably puts Bitcoin in a position to continue to be the dominant force of this market for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. And then we can start reassessing. But that doesn't mean, I always say this, that it doesn't mean that some altcoins won't run with Bitcoin. Look at the correlation between things like Solana and, of course, meme coins to Bitcoin. If it is going to really break out here and potentially even break above the range, those are sectors that will likely follow. But yeah, that's kind of the morning rundown for me, guys. I'm watching equities. I want to make sure that they're not sliding. And if they're not sliding, I think this bottom is beginning to look increasingly constructive on both Bitcoin and as well as a few other alts. Like, WIF is a great example. Shill team WIF. But no, I think the chart looks really good. Obviously, Sol bouncing really strongly from a support level that, it should. I think these are positive signs for the market as a whole, right? But you know, I say that, and I'm just like, I said this before we went live. I'm praying that we're not going to enter some prolonged range and chop period like last spring and summer, and that Bitcoin can keep trending. But we'll see. What are you guys thinking about the squeeze off the low so far?
Max, you want to go? You want me to go?
I want you to cook, Tucker. I want you to whip up some stir fry for us.
Okay, man. Okay. So yeah, I was actually up last night watching this candle get put in, this 4-hour wick. This was a little scary down here, right? But this was essentially a free long after you closed this, after you saw this thing suck back up all the way to 61.7. I mean, dude, this was a free long right here. And we actually took it not on Bitcoin, but on another ticker, which will remain nameless. So yeah, I mean, here's what I'm thinking, right? This is basically your low, right? And you have tapped it a lot, right? Like you have, you know, we have tapped it a few times now. I think in order to squeeze, you're going to need to see Bitcoin above, like, you know, this, these highs, these consolidation highs. Let me get rid of all this. You're going to need to see it above, you know, this high as well as this consolidation. I think you flip those and it's a pretty, again, probably nothing is free, but it's a pretty free long if you can flip this box right up to there. So yeah, I mean, we're still kind of in no man's land, right? On a very lower time frame, obviously in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, but still on those mid-hourly time frames, right? We are still in a downtrend, unfortunately, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Break of market structure, maybe, if we can hold it. You know, it would be unfortunate if this was, you know, a fake out, right? We do usually have some decent selling into New York sessions, so just would not want to see this become a deviation, bruv, and us get back in here and do one of those, right? That would be what you don't want to see, but I think it looks good here. We are holding up even with what I'm sure is equity sell pressure right now. This candle is when the equity market opens, so you can see they they offloaded right away, but I think it looks decent here. It's holding up, you know. Altcoins like Solana, I think, looks good. You know, this is kind of the box I wanted to see hold, right? This whole, actually, I could probably shrink that up a little bit, but this whole consolidation right here. How big did I make this box, man? Jeez. Right there, right? That consolidation. Ignore the wicks, right? Ignore the wicks. But this I wanted to see hold. So we'll see if it continues to. I think we are going to need a good old Ansem to win his fight tonight, but you know,
Bro, if Ansem wins his fight tonight, Whiff is going to $10. We need Ansem to win, man.
It's literally not even a joke that the short-term fate of Whiff hangs in the balance if Ansem can win the fight or not.
we were talking about this before, bro. Remember when the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu dev got his ass beat by BitBoy and the chart nuked?
Man.
We can't have that, man. We cannot have that. We need Whiff to hold up here, man. I wonder if that's why it's pumping so hard, is people kind of making like an indirect bet on Ansem winning the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can. I was just looking at that. I was like, I kind of want to bet on this, but you can literally bet on it by buying Whiff or Soul, honestly, at this point.
I think you can bet on it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I don't even know where. Probably what, Stake or something. Yeah,
I don't know if you can do it on Stake, but probably like I mean, maybe Polymarket. Let me see.
Yeah, that's where you could bet on the ETF. What, getting approved? Yeah, that was it.
You can.
You can. It's poly market. No
Yeah,
way.
Ansem is the underdog right now.
He's fighting Bitlord. Is that right?
He's fighting Barney.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dude,
If
Ansem
Barney
is-
were smart, he would have bought a huge bag of whiff and take a fall.
Yeah. Hedged.
Dude, Ansem's huge though, isn't he? His reach has got to be just
He's skinny though.
unbelievable.
He's like 6'7" or 6'8". Yeah, but he is skinny. But he does have
I
the
don't know,
reach.
man. That doesn't really matter too much. If he's strong and quick and he's got that reach, Whiff's going to $10, man.
You gonna make me
I'm
bet
long
on
Whiff.
Ansem right now?
I mean, Whiff looks good.
I'll do it.
Whiff
Dude,
looks
Whiff
good.
looks really good, man.
Yeah, I think especially if you get over this high right here. Yeah, you flip that, you fly. One of those. Yeah, but let's see. What else? What else? Oh, ETH BTC red. You hate to see that. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. What else? Sol ETH green, Sol BTC green.
Tucker, they don't know that you were being sarcastic.
Oh, they don't. Yeah. I mean, dude, this is just such a sad chart. I'm like, look, I agree. It does not make sense to like go short ETH BTC here. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But it just looks so limp and weak, man. I don't know.
It looks to me like it's about to leg down, man.
It just looks like you need a climactic low, like you need like one of those, and then you can spring, right?
So you need the floor to give out locally, like just one motherfucker drop.
Invert ETH Bitcoin. It looks terrible. Well, it looks bullish, but at least for a spike.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it just look like Bitcoin dominance, right?
A little bit.
I
would argue that it looks worse, relatively speaking.
I mean, they're just inverted from each other. It's the exact same chart.
Yeah, this basically.
Go to the daily on. It's literally like the same chart. It's just inverted. Like that's almost identical.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be bearish Bitcoin dominance and bearish ETH BTC.
No, I don't think you can. I mean, the more I think about it, it's like, how can I, like, if we're going to put in another leg higher soon in Bitcoin, like, you got to assume that Bitcoin's going to lead that leg. Right. There he is. Nice glasses.
Perfect timing for him.
Perfect timing.
It's like, what did we see last cycle, right? So when Bitcoin finally busted through the previous cycle all-time high, it's like, what happened? I'm not talking about the little sweep that we had. You saw that big spike right there, Tucker, on Bitcoin dominance. But it ultimately ended up being a monster fade over the next couple quarters. So, I mean, it's possible we do that again, but I also would argue that we're kind of in that deviation right now. We could go a little higher, right? But
where was the halving? Was the halving in?
This is May.
It was in May.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the top. I mean, the structure looks so different though. Like we were in a downtrend.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at it to like replicate
everything
like the same, but I would look at that and go, when Bitcoin finally broke through the previous cycle all-time high, we had a big spike on dominance that ended up being a bull trap. And I feel like that deviation is being set right now. As long as we're still bullish Bitcoin, then I think you have to be cyclically bearish Bitcoin dominance here, unless this time is really different.
When it broke through, hang on, let's get this right. When it broke through its all-time high, that was basically December of 20. December of 20 was like the top, right? So okay. That was the last spike, right? So we can assume that when we get a spike to like 75 or 80K, then that's pretty much it for dominance. But that's what I mean, right? Is like that next leg should be led by Bitcoin, and you should see like, that, and then that's the climactic low for ETH BTC, and then it just fucking dies. Like that's probably what would happen if we are gonna go, if we're gonna do that now, right? Like if we're gonna break through that all-time high like pretty imminently, then that's what's gonna happen. But if we don't, then that's where it gets more complicated, which doesn't mean more bullish for Bitcoin dominance, right? It just means like I don't really know where it would go in the short term if we're not going to break through the all-time high. If we're going to continue to chop and range and even bleed, right, then this thing probably goes sideways at best. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it looks strong, right? But I mean, you could easily, like, if you drew a range high on Bitcoin dominance there, Tucker.
Yeah.
Like, it's certainly possible that we just kind of spend 2 to 3 weeks grinding up, moving up, and then if we tuck back under 55%, it is over for Bitcoin dominance, man. Because we spent how long? 6 months building that range high. If this ends up being a deviation, and I mean, again, it's a big what if, right? It's a huge what if. But if it does, alts are going to melt face. And I at this point, I refuse to accept that we're not going to have some crazy alt season and that this time is different. I think it's way too premature to suggest that, truthfully.
Yeah, because if you get that, right, if you get it to tuck back under there, then like that would be like, maybe that, right? Like that would be the reclaim of like 0.05, I think ETH BTC probably sends.
And that's what XO was saying on Wabi's show yesterday on our YouTube. He was saying like, I mean, basically he was saying like, it doesn't really make sense to be super high time frame bearish here, ETH BTC, after a year and a half of straight down bleeding chop. And now, we're basically coming into high time frame support area with the Bitcoin halving, right around the corner. And if we can reclaim 0.05, there's probably a higher probability than not that it sends really hard if that level gets reclaimed. And there's very clear invalidation below, so.
I agree, but I also think, people have been drawing a line and saying deviation and reclaim on ETH Bitcoin like 4 or 5 different times in the last 6 months. You can see every reversal candle that we've had or attempted to have at this level has just been smacked back down. So I agree. You can't really get bearish on ETH Bitcoin here at this point. It's like, ETH is the cheapest against Bitcoin that it has been in like 3 or 4 years. That's a fact. But at the same time, I can absolutely see a capitulation down towards 0.04, maybe even potentially lower than that before we see a recovery. Even if that recovery is, a V bottom out of that level, that looks to me like a chart that's going to have a spike to the downside, maybe before a huge buyback. And I say the same thing about Bitcoin dominance regarding like a huge spike to the upside and then a big sell-off. I think it just makes sense out of the structures that they're kind of painting, which, you usually don't want to fade slow grinds, is what I would say. And so I'm inclined not to fade the trend on ETH Bitcoin or Bitcoin dominance until you get the accompanying spike that you usually see from slow grinds.
You can kind of argue that Bitcoin dominance did have that spike, right? I mean, that's a pretty big move. We jumped from 54 to 50, 57, pretty harsh there. Nice little wick. But I do agree with you. Like trying to call bottoms on ETH BTC has not worked out for anybody, myself included, for the past 6 months. And it's pretty clear that it's just like a mechanical bleed down. But also with those mechanical bleeds down, and I'm assuming you would agree, when they finally stop, the mean reversion the other way is very, very explosive. So I don't know when it's going to be, but when it does come, holy crap.
Yeah. I think we're going to do something like go from 58 or 60% back down to like 50% within probably 6 weeks to 2 months after we see the top on Bitcoin dominance. So the rotation to altcoins is going to be swift. I don't know if it goes like below 50 or whatever yet, but that's just a personal thesis.
Do you think they rotate to ETH and then mid caps? Like, do you think the flow will be, rotate to ETH and then lower, 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 lower? Or do you think they just like rotate from Bitcoin to like whiff? Like,
I don't know. I think you probably want to just continue to play the winners. Obviously, there's probably going to be a little bit more breadth and dispersion in the altcoin market if we do something crazy like dominance go from 60 to 50. But I don't know if it's going to be the type of alt season where Bitcoin dominance goes from like 60 all the way down to the range lows at like 40% that we've seen in the past. At least maybe not yet. So I don't know what that means for ETH. It might mean that it has like another temporary rotation while you have meme coins blow off and an eventual bid on Solana come in inevitably, right? Real world assets, they cycle through everything that probably has already shown that it can catch and sustain a bid. But yeah, I don't know. I think it just leads to probably blow off tops for those assets. I don't know. I'm sure you'll have bleed over into other more speculative assets too, but I don't know that you want to differ too much away from what's already shown that it has a bid.
yeah. I mean, this move up was just so thin on ETH BTC, right? Like this was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and it doubled 2.5x in 6 weeks, right? This was its other thin move up. It filled in a lot of it, right? It filled in a lot of it. We filled in a lot of it already, right? But like you could take the percentages, I'm sure, and figure out like what it did and obviously adjust for the market cap and whatnot. But I would say we probably just continue filling in this until Bitcoin dominance peaks, right?
Can you draw a line? See like the whole like accumulation going on right there, Tucker, to the left of your green box.
Mhm.
Yeah, like right in that region, and then maybe one more, just another white line on that spike right above it, right before the green box, right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that may be your region. Like it's kind of obvious, but that might just be as simple as you need to make it. Is just
Mhm.
you don't fill in the entire inefficient move, from last cycle. But that might just be your shove spot. Like turn your brain off and just hope it holds. Because if it doesn't, then ETH is dead forever. But
Mhm.
I think you have to hold that grid. Tommy just smirked when I said ETH is dead forever. I saw that, Tommy. He couldn't help himself. He heard ETH is dead forever and just smiled. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to hold that level if you get there.
Mhm. Yeah. Because these are all super thin. I mean, this FVG right here is super juicy. I'd
I mean,
say
this
even
is
maybe,
basically the structure that Sol just dumped into, right? Like on a lower time
yeah,
frame.
yeah, it is.
So you would assume that it's going to bounce probably a little bit, maybe a little bit below that green box. That's kind of my base case too.
We should change the title of the stream to ETH BTC hyper macro analysis.
There it is.
I have some dubious speculation to show you guys. That's right. King Wabi has some charts to show you.
You've been charting, Wabi?
I've been doing that the whole time since I've been here.
No,
I'm sorry that
man.
I can't be
Oh no, the
I,
top's in.
I can't be as loud as I usually am. I woke up and I went into a coughing frenzy. I'm not sure what's going on, but it is what it is, right?
Let's see your chart, brother.
So prepare yourself. I'm not sure if you're ready, but it's
know.
before I open this up, it is a bit boomerish. Okay, so I'm not gonna pull up TradingView. I'm gonna pull up a KuCoin chart, but this does have some alpha. So I'm sorry, this isn't like Tucker. This isn't like Max's charts, but I'm gonna try my best here. Okay, so share screen.
All good. This is a rare treat.
Can you see it?
Wow. Yes.
All right. So look, this is leading up to the ETF approval, right? You'll see that from December all the way to January, we were in a month-long range, kind of like where we're at right now, right? So you'll see right here, 3 stabs at the lows, right here on the 11th, right here on the 3rd, and then of course the ETF approval day, we nuked, we were at range lows, then we had a little deviation right here, right? Now check this out. Okay, what do we have here? 3 stabs at the lows, perhaps a little deviation, but right here on all the daily EMAs, if we get above 65.4, hopefully by tomorrow, right, the day after the halving, green skies ahead. And as Trader XO says, happy days. And you'll notice that anytime we get above the daily EMAs, we at least have, you know, somewhat of a good pump. But if we want to be more realistic, right, you know, this is the halving. This is a pretty important day, and we're not exactly, you know, pumping to Valhalla through it. Right after we broke out of all the daily EMAs, we basically pumped about 80% over the next like couple of weeks. So, and we're also seeing some, you know, solid altcoin performance. If you would allow me to show my bags, right? So you'll see right here, ENA paired against Ethereum. I've got.
We can only see your KuCoin.
Okay, I see it. All right,
There you go.
All right, ENA paired up against Ethereum. I've got the EMAs and the 10s and the 21s. That's an indicator that's worked for me when it comes to momentum. Anytime we've broken out of both of them, we have a good candle above all the EMAs. You know, happy days ahead, right? We saw this right here, broke out, pop, broke out, pop. It is a new ticker, right? So, you know, full disclosure and all that stuff. But, you know, usually when you have something go down 50, 60% for a new ticker after a huge rally like that, especially, you know, like this one, it does tend to do well. And we can go back to something like, say, a Celestia, right? Let me just go to Tia here, right? So I'm gonna have to kind of zoom back quite a bit, right? So with Celestia, you'll see that, you know, this also had its pullback, right? 7 to sub 5. And then this wick was absolutely atrocious, right? From, what was it? From 15 down to 9, immediate spike back up to about 16. So I like to compare these two, ENA and also Celestia. So, and this thing is just programmed to go up in a bull market. So if BTC and ETH do well, this thing is basically beta to the overall altcoin market, kind of like a rune, right? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with everything in the market today, right? Nothing else is really like interesting to me, to be honest. I'm kind of taking concentrated bets, and most things on chain, maybe with the exception of like 2 memes, right? It's basically flatlined. So we need ETH to basically get on its feet, in my opinion.
Here's that point in time that Wabi was referencing right here. Kind of similar little breakdown. And what you see in bull markets, guys, like they kind of just do the same thing over and over again because it works. You know, but it's possible that, you know, we're just kind of repeating the same sort of ETF sell-off thing right here. And if so, you know, and this low is in fact set, you know, right around here. Again, you know, if you can reclaim this level, right, similarly to what Bitcoin did, you know, in this region, when you finally bust through it, and I don't know exactly where it would be, right, but if you can get above there, and this is like 65, 66, I mean, I think that's it, you know. I think you go quick.
Yeah, I agree.
You had some propaganda, Tucker? Oh my.
Same thing,
Oh
right?
my.
This is what Wabi was talking about. The 3-day chart has a nice range. this is the range low that you were
Oh,
talking about.
hold on, guys. Are you saying that one of my charts is providing alpha for market
Yes.
check?
Yes, Wobby.
This is quite an honor, man.
I know.
To be given some props on market check for you guys in the audience. Okay, we're being treated here by some premium KOLs. All right, you're joined by Tucker, Max, and Snorlax. It's kind of a big deal, guys. All right, so we're gonna need some likes. All right, smash that like button if you want to keep seeing some premium KOL content. All right, so Tucker, carry us on, man. What have you got for us, brother?
Yeah, man. So this is exactly what you were talking about, right? 3-day range, all these stabs at the low, and then you put in the close below, right? The deviation, bruv, right? Which is arguably what we did, right? This is your 3-day range, body candle below. Now, kind of like exactly what Max was talking about, you're gonna need, because back here this was a bullish engulfing candle, right? We popped all the way over this previous red candle, and then we just went. So for me, we're gonna need to close this 3-day above like 60, 65.5, 66. And then yeah, if we were to do the same thing, right, that would be like 120K by June. So I don't know if we're gonna do that or not, but I would say if we reclaim 66 in the next 1 day and 9 hours, if we close above there, then you're probably sending it to new highs pretty quickly. But yeah, that's really just exactly what you were saying on the KuCoin chart. So alpha,
the KuCoin chart has alpha, man. But
I know.
I'll learn the yellow trading view, right? The thing that Max uses, the beige background. Max, how do you do that, man? Like, what's the setting that you use for?
You just change your color, Wobby. Just change your color.
I can help you get set up, Wobby. If you wanna start charting more on TradingView, I can get you set up with a good looking default color scale. But I spend a lot of time on TradingView, man. Like I've spent years just creating chart after chart, man. I'm a little particular about it. Oh, Tucker. Oh my God.
See, the black is the move, man. The black background, no grid lines, blue and purple.
What's with the blue and purple, bro? I don't understand that.
Tucker, can you do me a favor, man? This is gonna be like some pretty huge alpha. So draw out the 1618 on BTC from these levels, because you know what happens when we reach that 1618, man.
Where do you want me to draw it from?
I guess the most recent low at 59.8, where we were at like 2 days ago.
Okay. We'll hit him with the reverse. 82.
Well, I guess so. Can't fade it.
Go back to the last consolidation, Tucker, to the left, the ETF one. Draw out the same fibs there, and let's see where we top.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I was going to say keep that, but just draw another set.
I gotcha. Yeah, we blasted through that 1618 there.
Yeah, never
Those
had a
ones
chance.
didn't really.
So 1618 ends up being like consolidation then, basically. Like that ends up being somewhat of the range low for the next consolidation. So if we break through 73 with gusto, that should take us to like 85.
Yeah, again, we do have the 2618 from that is right at that 3-day range. So 60. I mean, if we can close above 66 by Saturday, that would be bullish, very bullish in my opinion.
And Saylor hasn't been buying. He hasn't. I haven't seen an announcement from MicroStrategy in a while. I haven't heard anything. It's really only just been like tether printing and ETF flows, right? So,
yeah, you guys, what are we talking about here? Like, look at this chart, man. This thing is cooked.
Zero.
Look at this thing. It's cooked. This chart is cooked. Man, it's over. If you long this chart, it's over. Look at it.
Wow.
Dude, it's completely cooked.
What are those? The bodies on 2021 May?
Yeah, look at this shit coin, man. It's over. Send this thing down.
Weekly. Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh my. I mean, look at this. We're right here, man. Like, it was different last cycle, right? We kind of did like a little wedge. You guys remember this trend line from last cycle? I know that you do. I know that you remember it. This right here is effectively where we're at, guys. Like this right here, boys. This is your chart.
Those first like 2 months of 2021, man, were so good, man. That was like heaven on earth. You could have just,
but you wouldn't believe it. you refuse to believe that this is real. And you enjoy poverty is what you do. If you don't,
let me ask you guys a question. Do you think like cycles, there's a chance that the quote unquote cycles might be over? Because like, you know, with the ETFs and all that stuff, we're more related to the TradFi markets. And if you look at what's gone on in TradFi, right, we've had 2 big crashes over the last 4 years, right? We had the 2020 COVID pandemic crash, and then we had, you know, the 2022 anomaly where we had things like Facebook basically retrace 7 years of its gains. And historically speaking, the stock market doesn't really have back-to-back crashes within 5 years like that. So, you know, what if, like, you know, what's that term for like long-term trends? Secular, right? What if like the next secular bull market started in October of 2022 and we're just destined to go up only on SPX until like 2027 or late 2026? And maybe like the only pullbacks that we see for BTC is like 22%. And I remember Max said this on his stream with Ben Cowan and Digital Asset News, which is a great stream, by the way, guys. Feel free to check that out on Ben's channel and also our channel. That was a masterclass clinic. And Max was saying how, you know, over the last 18 months, Bitcoin, actually, no, like 2 years almost, Bitcoin hasn't had a pullback greater than 23%. And, you know, I could get on board with that, honestly, until something breaks within, you know, equity land and the S&P goes down like 40% or something like that, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
I think we still see individuals and equities go through cycles, right? Like Nvidia, for example, and Meta are great examples, Wabi. Like Nvidia drew down almost 80% or 70%, maybe not quite that much from its all-time high in 2022. And now you can see, Nvidia literally looks like a shitcoin chart. You know, when you look at the high time frame where it has like parabola after parabola after parabola. So I think as far as like cycles go, Bitcoin's not going to be done having cycles. They're just probably not going to look the same, right? To where, you know, we're going to be trading more correlated with equity markets. Bitcoin is just going to have a natural correlation to those algorithms, and probably decoupling Bitcoin and crypto from the S&P and from equities is going to be harder. Volatility in Bitcoin will probably be lower as a result. But, you know, I don't know that I think that it's done having cycles. It probably won't have them as obviously and cleanly on like a 4-year time horizon as it has in the past. But I do think the cyclicality angle will still be present, and it'll just look a little bit different and probably just more tethered to equities. And like you said, it'll probably just serve more or less as like beta to equities. If equities sell off, and I hate that I've had to say that word so many times in like 30 seconds, but if they sell off really strongly, we've already seen, you know, any weakness in the S&P, Bitcoin shows immense weakness. So Yeah, I kind of just view it as like stock market beta at this point. At some point we'll get probably more of a decorrelation as Bitcoin increasingly trades as a commodity like gold. But for at least the cyclicality standpoint, I think that I don't know that I think that that's gone. I just think that it'll probably be more difficult to time and probably a product of more efficient market participants.
Man, so Tucker, let me ask you this, man: is FOFAR a hedge against like financial calamity?
It's a hedge against government spending and dollar collapse. Yeah, it is indeed.
Oh, man.
Let me hang on, Max. Keep doing that, but let me just do this while you're painting.
Are you gonna put a photo next to the chart, man? Because I will start coughing like crazy out of the amount of laughter that would ensue.
No, look at this. Look at this. All right. So you want to talk about 1618, Swabby?
Put a photo of FOFAR next to the 1618, please.
I can do that. Actually, I can probably do that. I can do that. Hang on. Okay, I got it.
The FOFAR top.
Hang on, I gotta make it a little smaller. This is the FOFAR topping structure, okay, for Bitcoin. All right. So what we have here is a little 1618 analysis, right? So 2013 cycle, high to low, the 1618 was right here. Okay, we did not top. We had a big pullback, but we didn't top. All right. But the 2021 cycle, fib drawn from 2017 high to low, it was the Pico top, man. This was the top when we hit the 1618. Okay, right now we did just back test it, right? We did just back test the 1618 from the fibs from 2017. Okay, but so there's kind of two ways to view it, and I got to take these off the screen, man. They're too distracting, as funny as they are. There's two scenarios here, right? We're either going to do 2017, right, where we go up to the 1618, we have a big correction, and then we continue higher, or this will be the top at 175K. All right, which would be fine with me, honestly. Like, that's not a big deal, right? But that's really the two scenarios, right? So I think we either do this, right, and we do one of those, or we top at the 1618. Where do we break the all-time high? Yeah, be like this. Okay, so pick your poison, right? Either way, it doesn't matter. It still looks great. So it's either that or it is this. And then we go into a massive bear market.
Wow, man, I already know what poison I'm picking, man. I'm a Jeet.
I found this proof of work shitcoin on TradingView. I've never heard of it, but it's a proof of work shitcoin that's been bleeding for over a decade now. It seems like there's a pretty clear trend with the halvings of this proof of work shitcoin. Whenever there's a halving, it seems to do the same thing and just go straight down in a straight line right here, guys. So I've marked out the halvings of this proof of work shitcoin. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting trend. I mean, it looks like it's really setting up for a nice short. Probably just goes straight through the floor pretty soon. I drew some fractals on here for you guys.
Oh
wow, it's over.
All right, let me just screenshot this so I can post it.
The chart steel ore, man.
Quick, get your watermark on there, Max.
I'm kidding, man. I remember, Max, when you drew that Pepe fractal in early January, and then Polly stole it. That was
yeah.
That was such a bottom signal for Pepe too, which is so funny.
And he copied the tweet word for word too. That was something, man. But I guess we can talk some altcoins, man. What alts are you looking at, Tucker?
I did pick up some more ENA allocation at about 0.85.
Hey
yesterday.
guys, let me tell you something. You want to know why we pulled back 2 days ago? It's because Tucker, he bought something for his wrist.
Yeah, okay.
That's why we pulled back. And I told this guy, do not send me a photo if you get that treat. It was
no, Bobby. You said
When
don't
we
post a
pulled
photo,
back,
and I said
I
I would
almost had a heart
never ever post a photo
Look at
online
this
because
guy,
it's too
man.
cringe,
Come on,
man.
bro. But you can't send that to your boy. You have to do that at the top. You
I
gotta do
know.
that at the top, man.
I marked the local top, man. It is what it is. Yeah.
So what are we looking at here? Someone wants to share.
Oh, this is a nice.
Oh, are we on my screen? I thought we were on Tucker still. Oh, oh, oops. Well, I guess this is a chart that I made. I wasn't planning on sharing it. I was going to post it on Twitter later, but yeah, I don't know. I guess this is the Andy chart. Just kind of drawing some things out, mapping a future plan. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on. Where's this line drawn here? What is this? This is on the 22nd. Oh, interesting. All right, well, we'll come back to that later. I didn't mean to show that, guys, but I guess we'll go to Tucker's chart for now. I thought he was sharing the whole time, but yeah. Anyways,
just putting magnets on the chart. That's all.
Can you make it a little bigger though? I don't know if it has enough.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
just
I probably
a little.
should
That's
make it a
much, I
little
think,
bit
more
bigger.
appropriate. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
1618 is a magnet, fellas. A magnet.
And that's funny enough,
175K.
exactly where we peaked last cycle too.
Literally,
at the 1.6.
exactly where we topped.
Would you be able to make the numbers bigger and maybe a different color so we can see them? Because they're just kind of blend into your background.
Tucker,
numbers.
Tucker, can you screenshot that so I can post it? Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what I'm talking about is your purple fibs, your 1.618.
Oh,
you can't even see the numbers because they're so small.
Oh, font size. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we are talking about. Yep. And if you maybe have an interest, perhaps throw on your 1 and your 0 so people can see how they how you have them drawn.
Beautiful. The painter. Where's the other one? Is that all of them?
Nah, the 64K one, the all-time high.
This
right
one.
There.
Yeah. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here, man?
I'm not even sure, man.
It's a magnet, dude. A magnet. Now, I have to delete it for just a moment. If we want to play around with the 2017 example, let's see. Where did we top? No, 2. Maybe 2.
I guess that can be a better comparison because we've been kind of like slow grinding up, just like we were in 2017 during that cycle, right?
So, I know. No, I think we've been replicating 2017 more so than this, right? Because we had COVID in this cycle, and then we printed a bunch of money like that. Neither of those things have happened, right? So, I mean, we should continue to just pop correct, run the 2017 playbook. And if we do that, that would mean that we would not top at the 1618. It would mean we would top closer to the, what is that, 2.27 to 2.272, right? That would be more so the top. So we want to run that. That would be a little bit higher at about $450,000 for one Bitcoin.
For one United States Bitcoin.
Yes.
150K? 150K?
No, that would be the 1618 top. This would be the 272 if we ran 2017 back.
Oh, dude,
Okay.
400K BTC. Where would the Nasdaq be, man? Where would Apple?
100,000.
Jeez, dude.
Oh no, we got somebody yapping in the comments. Look at
Who's
him while we
waffling?
Who's
Chimp
waffling?
is waffling, bro.
Is it Chimp waffling again, man?
Bitcoin should be worth more than the stock market. I agree. I agree. You know what's real is ETH should be worth more than the S&P 500. That is real. Okay, in dollar terms.
Yeah, I'm of that belief too. I think ETH is undervalued, to be honest, because like, hold on, let me quit Discord. Apologies. The fact that like most people keep their stable coins on ETH, I think
Mhm.
it should at the very least be like at its old all-time high. Like I wouldn't be shocked if ETH ETF gets approved. And then it has similar price action to Bitcoin, where it pumps, 7 to 10% above its previous all-time high, and then just consolidates there for like a month or two, and then we start the real rally, right after the election, and Q1 is just up only, right? So.
Dude, this is literally exactly. I didn't even have to massage it that much.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
happening, man. That is
yeah.
happening.
That's if we just did 2017 exactly. Top in June of 26. That's next year top. That's fine. Wait, no, that's 26. That's too long. Let's move it a little bit. There we go. Q4 2025. You happy, Wabi? Are you happy?
Knowing me, man, knowing me, I'm probably going to do it like at 150, 160. I'll probably take out 90, 95% of what I have. And then if I'm wrong and we end up doing 2017, that's good enough for me, man, to be honest.
Hang on, let me get rid of this on this one.
I mean, it really just for me depends on Bitcoin dominance, man. Like I can't get bearish until I see a multi-month downtrend in Bitcoin dominance and a long period of altcoin outperformance. Like I don't really see it. I don't see there being a very high likelihood that we don't get the same signs as every other cycle. Like there's some pretty clear and recognizable top signals, and we're not even close to that yet. Like we're not even in that neck of the woods yet. We haven't even seen like altcoins diverge against their Bitcoin pairs, how they typically do at cycle tops or even local tops, right? We're just not seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Again, this ray lines pretty damn perfectly, man. Look at that. You sell 130K Bitcoin, you buy it back if it holds this ray at 95. Can you imagine this move? Can you imagine this 30% correction to lose 100K after that would be like everyone screaming top is in, and then it literally triples. Like,
People would cry.
people would cry, dude. That would be
cry.
unreal.
That probably will happen, honestly.
Yeah. First top in November, bottom in January, top in Q1 or Q4 25.
Q4. Market's always top in Q4. Turning my brain off. Q4.
Yeah, November, that would be a Q4 top, bottom in 25, Q4 top in 25.
You need the top to be formed when everyone's gathering and Thanksgiving and on Christmas, talking about what, and I just don't think it's going to happen in 6 months. I just don't.
You don't think what's going to happen?
The like cycle top, like if it happens, dude, like that would be an anomaly, and I mean a crazy anomaly. Like if we have the same thing, the thing is, dude, these things take time, dude. These things take time, right? Like brother, dude, that BTC at 73K looked like it was going to rip to 80. But what happened? Market said, no, I have to remind you of who I am. And, you know, we just consolidated for like 6 weeks, man. Just in a range, right? So I feel like that's what BTC is going to do for the most part over the next 18 months and teach people. And as far as like BTC dominance, I think that's going to crater once like the ETH ETF narrative starts, because that's what Fink has been shilling over the last like month. He's just been talking about Ethereum nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, if this played, we would top in Q4 this year, pull back 30%, and then rip, and then top again in 25.
If BTC gets close to 100K this year, man, oh gosh, yeah, cycle's in danger lengthwise. But
I mean, this is where you sell like 80% of everything, and if you hold this line, you buy it all back, and then you ride that thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, the sell in May, go away thing. I was just kind of looking at it. Okay, this right here was May of the halving year. Right here. Okay. Let's just make this a little bigger. This was May of the halving year last time. Would you have liked to have sold that? Absolutely not. Okay. Then you had May of the next year, right? And that was the top. But we're not in next year. Okay. We're not in next year. So I think selling May and go away in a halving year is ludicrous, right? I mean, where's May? Like May here was like this, right? Like, would you have liked to have sold that? Probably not, right? Probably not. So, I mean, that was the kind of local top, but I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. Wait, no, that's not even the halving year. Where's the halving year? Where's May? I guess you did have a local top. Jeez, man. But I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it, guys. Not after the bleed chop we've had this month.
Yeah.
Right.
Comment saying anomaly, like new all-time high before the halving. I don't know. I wouldn't really consider that an anomaly because we barely spent time above the previous all-time high. So I don't know, man. Like, dude, I'll say this, man. Like, if we're cutting it down the middle, right, and we're seeing the proof in the pudding, almost everybody that's active on crypto socials, I would say like 75-80% of their exposure is likely in altcoins, right? BTC is the guiding light, but most of us were in alts, like extremely, extremely deep in alts. And so far this cycle, they've done well when Solana has done well, or when ETH has its little, 2-3 week rallies. So,
Each a period of outperformance.
Yeah, in February. If you look at the February rally, like early February to early March, those 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, Ethereum destroyed Solana. Like, look at ETH Sol in February. It crushed Solana, and most things on ETH did quite well, right?
What are you talking about? When?
Not Sol ETH, ETH Sol.
It's the same thing.
Bobby, what do you think about the possibility that we have, and this is kind of what I mean when I say like people need to recalibrate their idea of cycles, at least as far as like the traditional every 4 years type of thing. Like maybe we have a quote unquote cycle that's happening right now as a result of people trying to front run the halving and front run the crypto cycle. And then in a few years, we have the real cycle, or maybe the second part of the cycle, which is actually a product of liquidity and probably retail returning. What do you think about the possibility of that, or do you think that this is all of these things can occur? Because I want to say that global liquidity cycles top out in either 2026 or 2027, rather than like 2025.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, like the fact that we've seen things like WIF go up so much, and the thing is, like, these events like WIF have happened multiple times already in the last 12 months. We had Pepe go from 0 to almost 2 bill last year. We had WIF go from 0 to like, what was it, 4 bill in a few months. That's the second time. We also had Bonk. Let's not forget Bonk proceeded with. Bonk went from like 8 mil to over a bill in a couple of weeks. And then we had WIF. And then the things that you're seeing on Solana, I do think the things that you saw on Solana were a bit of an anomaly. I think that was just like probably like ETH whales just moving their liquidity over to Solana to create pump and dumps like Slurf. I also think Mew is a giant pump and dump. I think that's like purely insiders, but it does well, right? It doesn't really matter if it's like insider or not, but I think Mew is an anomaly too.
The best cat coin is Per.
Yeah, that too. I know Hyperliquid is becoming their own L1, so damn, I didn't really expect that. But
Do you have a bag lobby of Per?
I do not. Not.
You know that they're distributing points now to people who trade Per instead of futures traders.
But is that still going on?
I don't know if that's going to continue, but that's how the last week was. They gave no points to perp traders, and they basically gave them all to people who traded spot Per. I am a cat coin maxi. I'm a cat. I'm a cat guy. My cat is adorable. In all due respect to everybody, my cat's absolutely adorable. Chimp has an adorable cat too. I don't know if he's still in the in the comments, but he does too.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Do you see it? Do you see it, guys? Man.
The ticker is
Degen J Trump.
You actually said that on stream. Oh gosh,
hey, man. It's kind of pumping. We're not going to talk about it though. We're not going to talk about it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The Frentech airdrop is probably going to like mark a massive local top within 2 weeks when that drops. The cycle still has a lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like, you have the Eigenlayer token, or that airdrop, right? You've got the Monad airdrop. You've got the Frentech airdrop. You definitely have some sort of base airdrop. That's 100% going to happen. What else? I think that's it. That's really it. So, still have a few things to look forward to.
When is Frentech doing their airdrop?
Probably either in Q4 or Q1. Like, that's my dubious speculation. These big airdrops always happen in Q4 or in Q1, right?
Yeah.
Like Tia was massive. Dime was massive. Blast was massive, but Blast doesn't even have a token yet. But I think they will at some point, right? So
yeah, it's on the Avo free or pre-market stuff.
Yeah. And the thing with these airdrops is that like people usually there's also Bear Chain too, which I think people are gonna sell the crap out of to buy other alts, and that's just the nature of the game. Dude, you have people that bought into that seed round like 3 years ago. Bro, if I was locked up for 3 years, the moment that I would get those tokens, man, just full stack.
Just full stack.
Yeah, full stack and rotate, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's going to be a fun ecosystem too, right? Bunch of rugs at the beginning, and then you'll find
rugs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. What were you saying?
With these new chains at the beginning, it's usually a bunch of rugs but then at some point you find like a winning meme and it sends, right? So yeah.
I was on Twitter this week and I saw Barachain raised 100 million. Is that right? I mean,
I don't know where this money is coming from, bro.
I met a few of them a few years ago, man. I have no idea who gave them that much money.
Yeah, dude, we saw them at ETH Denver, and it's like, bro, it's the most disappointing thing when you meet these people in person. It's like, man, I honestly think it's the same money going around, man. I think it's the same money going around from like the same people over and over, and that money that they get is from dumping their other tokens, right? Like you see Dime taking a crap. That money is probably going to be used to give to another project over and over and over and over again. And that's just the nature of the beast. Say what?
What does Dime look like right now?
Like crap. Never touched that thing.
I don't even want to pull it up. Took it off.
You know what chart I was looking at?
At this point, dude, like if you see something with the narrative lead the way, does that have a four handle? It does.
Bottomed.
Yeah. Yashay's tweet.
It had a 2 handle, bro. 279.
Yeah. That tweet marked the low. But anyways, dude, like, you know, is Montclair gonna come back? I'm not sure, man. But at this point, dude, like I'd rather just bid something like Celestia, and if the trend reverses like completely on Dime, where I know like, all right, this thing isn't a full scale uptrend, then I'll buy. I said this on Exo stream yesterday, right? Like moving forward with new launches, I'd rather be late to the party and know what kind of music is playing than just try to play it like balls deep like I did over the last 2 quarters with Tia and Dime and stuff like that, right? Yeah, I'd rather just play into the trend rather than like a chance of what if this thing is just mean reverted, right? But I wouldn't doubt that 273 was the low, right? Like if you have people like actually crying on the timeline that have to do with the project, that's probably a low, bro. I will bid those tears.
You know what chart I was looking at this week that, I mean, it looks so much fugglier than the last time I laid my eyes on it is Big Time.
Yeah, dude. Dude, I remember when we were eating in Kansas, man, we had that dinner and I was telling Will and Max, like, yo, you guys should check out this new ticker. It's going to come out soon. It's called Big Time. And then like right when it came out, a little bit after, it did like a 10x, and I'm like, all right, bro, I'm out of this thing. And I just forgot about it, man. Q4 was such a, oh man, that was like one of the best quarters ever, especially towards the end, man. I got like this surge of motivation for those of you who know, you know what happened. And what a beauty, man. There's only like a handful of moments in a bull market that really stick with you. And Q4 of last year was like that was my quarter, man. Looking back.
We should look at that.
Parcel?
Yes.
Oh my God. This is a Crypto God John project, isn't it?
This is a Crypto God John candle right here.
Careful, man. He might block the BB socials now.
That's fine.
He blocked Inverse, bro, which is like hilarious.
That's fine.
Did he actually rug that, or are you just talking smack?
No, I actually think
no.
He was one of the people who rugged this.
Well, was that one of the ones Zach XBT just tweeted about and was like, unfollow these guys who shilled this? Was that this?
I don't know if this was all airdrop selling. They did a massive linear airlock and everybody sold it right at the drop. Everybody. So, yeah.
Bro, be honest, man. If you get some airdrop for some project that you don't really know nothing about, probably gonna G.
I got an airdrop this week in cat coins and I sold it and then ended up buying it back. So that's a good lesson. I shouldn't have sold it at all. But this
I
is an
usually
airdrop.
hang on to airdrops, man. I usually just chill on them. Truthfully,
It's always tough to feel it out. Honestly, I think it's all about like what the relative valuation is when you get it.
The Jupe airdrop, that was like a decent drop too, but I remember getting that on day one, and then eventually I got into some of these AI tickers, and I don't regret it one bit. It's just like holding on to the airdrops, man. I think, dude, if you get like a 5-figure airdrop, dude, and you don't want to factor in, opportunity cost. I think the opportunity cost eventually hits you, man. Like you see these airdrop fractals play out, usually it takes like 4 to 6 weeks. And within those 4 to 6 weeks, you could see your airdrop value go down by like 50, 65% while you see other things run. And then by the time, your airdrop runs, it's barely above the airdrop price, right? Like not that much. The opportunity cost is just real, man.
There's another one. You know what this looks like though, a little bit.
What is that? Tensor?
Tensor. They did an airdrop too, and everybody nuked it. But
XL thinks it's probably bottom, like close
you
to
know what
bottom.
it looks like?
a
It's
bottom.
Sui.
Like let me show you.
It looks like Sui, bro.
Let me show you some Mick Alpha here, man. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, man?
It looks like Sui.
Let me sec here. I gotta pull on. Actually, I have to
Tell me that doesn't look similar.
That's right. I'm going to show more charts now.
I mean, if you really like the project, even just like
Tucker's already doing it. Tucker's already
sell the airdrop and then just buy it back. Like you're gonna be able to buy it back cheaper.
So Saga's playing out a similar pattern like that too. Yeah. It's, XO said that it's probably a good buy when he showed. Oh, it's $4. Oh yeah, then that was the bottom. The stream that we had with XO was at like 330.
Yeah, that was right here. That was the bottom.
Yeah. So, yeah, similar thing playing out, right? Tensor, Saga, event now Dime as well, right? And you compare that with things like a Sui and like a Say and an Arbitrum, and their price action last year going into Q4, it's kind of like the same thing, right? Massive McNuke after a little pumpski, and then we pump out of it with gusto. So,
I mean, here's your VC versus meme index that I've crafted. I think your VCs might be trying to bottom against the memes. Just
man.
maybe.
That's my specialty, man. The VC McScammies.
Yes, it is. Nuke it. Send the memes. It's trying to bottom.
I think you need an even amount on each side. Add like for your memes, add like Floki.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Saga will pump because of Berninski. Berninski's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good.
What else do we want to add? What's another high cap meme?
Probably just Shib, honestly.
Yeah. Oh no, what did I do?
Wow. It's over.
No, it's over. Why? We're doing math on here. All right, we're reverting it. I gotta try it one more time. Wait, no, it did work. It did work. Yeah.
No.
No, it didn't. All right. This is your index. I'll do this off stream. Oh, what else, guys? Any other altcoins we need to look at?
The only thing worth doing is on-chain tickers, man.
How have we not looked at Pepe yet, man? We need to look at Pepe.
You know what we should look at is BNB. Super strong. I know nobody trades BNB.
Oh, hold on.
But it looks strong.
Whoa. Wait.
What?
Oh, TIA is almost above the yearly open. And if this thing has a weekly close above the yearly open, I think we run it back. That'd be great. That'd be really fun.
I did see Bernisky bull posted TIA. It's just funny. It made me think of that meme where everybody.
Hey man, Saga's down 50% from its listing high, and if gaming is gonna send, this thing is gonna send too. And I've been talking about this token for 2 years, so man, we'll see. Everything's gonna send. Everyone's gonna be a genius soon. Doesn't matter what you have, to be honest.
I mean, it looks like
people keep asking me like, "Oh, what altcoin should I buy? What altcoin should I buy? What are you in?" And I'm like, "Dude, literally, like, flip a coin. You know, like, everything should do well."
Literally, it's just a matter of like, are you willing to be patient, and are you willing to see other sectors run before your bags run, right? So, and I think that was the case with something like an Ondo, right? That's like a VC token, and after memes ran, Ondo pulled off like a 3x in a straight line.
Whole stuff with Bernisky talking about Celestia.
He was right, bro. He was right.
Yeah, he was. It's just funny.
He called local top on
what's that meme, right? Where they're praising the guy for they're praising the guy for getting something right or whatever. So like his Celestia and Saga calls, he's buying something, and then it's like put on a shirt when he talked about Bitcoin breaking down back at like 40K. Nobody talks about when he was bearish. It's just funny, but that's just an anecdotal joke.
I think he was bearish at 73K also. He made like a thread and all that stuff. But yeah, for TIA, man, you see that thing go above the yearly open, weekly close above the yearly open. I think I would bid Saga just because it has a lower circulating val compared to all the other stuff, right? It's like 300, 400 mil circ. If I compare that to Dime, I'm going for Saga, bud. And Jump Crypto is also involved. So,
dude, Bobby, doesn't ENA look like TIA?
I mean, it's all kind of the same trade, isn't it? Right? Like you look at Saga, you look at Dime, kind of the same stuff, right? Like they're at pivotal.
No, but this just like this Christmas.
Oh, ENA specifically to TIA? I think so, man. I think so. Like, I think ENA is probably where Celestia is after it pulled back from 7 and went back to 5. So I think ENA probably has like one more big leg, and then you probably want to rotate that. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I think my biggest regret, I would say like Q1 going into Q2 is not rotating as I did earlier in the quarter and in Q4. That is probably my regret. And I think some of these names probably have like one big more leg up until, I would say Q4 or something like that, right? Because I feel like this year has a lot of resemblance to last year, to be honest. And
I don't know what just happened, bro. I think, did my internet just go out?
I think so, man.
Jeez, we gotta look at this though. We got a super chat, so I'm gonna pull that up for our boy.
Good old Pulse chain. We were talking about Pulse chain like last week or something like that. Hey. Oh wait, no, that's
Is
Wabi.
it?
I thought Jackus was in here.
I don't know.
This?
I don't know why it has me as Jackus. To be honest, I don't know why.
Is it this?
It's Mike. I was about to say I thought Jackus was on vacation.
Tell me it can't be this.
Oh
man.
my god.
Please, man.
Just tell me.
You know
it's
who would love that chart?
No, man.
Yeah, I
I
do.
know who. I know.
Will.
Time to go dumpster diving.
Will would
not
love
a good dumpster.
that.
Is it this chart or no?
It is. It
Has
is.
to be.
It is.
You have to use Dex Screener that's Hex on ETH. Are you sure? Pulse chain, maybe if I can. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Because gaming,
Hang on,
maybe, brother. That'd be pretty dope.
Because gaming.
Wait, did someone say that looks like a triple bottom?
Yeah. But hang on, no, that's not the right. It's not the right chart.
No.
Not the right chart.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Forever bottom.
I
That'd
see.
be-
I see what he's-
yeah, that's right.
I see what he's looking at. Hang on, let me change the. It's this.
New chart. Bullish.
Okay. All right. I don't hate that. I hated the first one.
Oh yes, finally, Bybit's funding premium dipped below Binance for the first time this morning.
What does that mean, man?
It means that Binance is, or like it means Bybit's more short than Binance from a positioning standpoint usually.
We got some comments saying it's a coffin bottom. It's a coffin bottom 6 feet under.
Dude, I can't believe they can put these ads right here. This is unreal. Buy Harambe.
We're so back, man. We're so back. We are so back.
Wabi, I want to get your thoughts on something real quick. So a lot of people have talked about like what's the next layer one chain to have a lot popping off. I'm gonna pose a question to you about it specifically.
Dude,
though.
I was pretty damn wrong on the trajectory for Dime, and halfway I had to like pivot, and I didn't feel too good about that. So I don't know, man. I really don't know at this stage of the cycle. I think. But go ahead.
I had a question. I had a question about it though, to add another layer to it. So most people think that, you know, I mean, obviously Base and Solana seem to be kind of the entrenched two chains as far as like what people expect to catch a lot of attention. I know somebody saying, I see Tyrell saying Barrett chain in the comments. I'm going to say that, what do you think, Wabi, about the next layer one that's super big being whatever token DWF decides to launch? Because let's be honest, they're going to be launching a token at some point over the next few years, other than just their seed rounds. And they're probably going to run it up, and the token's probably going to blow up, just knowing what they do now to pump tokens. It will probably be like the best Ponzi of the cycle. That's like a personal guess of mine.
With DWF, man, Hagrid can tell you from experience, like at the start of the year, me and Hagrid, we played Manta and we played XAI, and the exact moment that DWF launched a partnership with them, it was topped. And we had to rotate after that. So I'm not touching anything that DWF is involved in, honestly. I'd rather mid-curve that. But as far as like L1s and all that stuff, probably Monad, just because I think it's going to be like an ENA where it provides like a clean 3x, right? And whatever it does after, I'm not sure. And I also think that like there's probably going to be a meme on Monad that runs just like with, yeah, but that's not going to come until like Q4 or Q1 of next year.
This is the DWF pattern right here, man. This is it.
Oh man, dude. Manta, remember Manta Tucker and XAI?
They both did this, bro. They both
The
did
double
this.
top, the double top, and right at
Yes.
the little double top on the 4 hour, man. Disgusting.
Yes, bro. This was like the
Absolutely
618 and it just nuked. Yeah. And it comes all the
Never,
way back.
never again, man. Never again. But yeah, dude, with new launches, man, I just stopped because like with new launches, they're either hit or miss, right? Like the only solid launches that have happened over the last 6 months have been Tia, Ondo, Mavia, and ENA. The rest have just been a little pumpski after the launch, and then a big like rooster fire down 65%, just as we've seen with Saga and Dime. Probably also Gaiman. I think the ticker is GMRX or something like that. And then you have your little J cup pattern, you know. So honestly, dude, like, you know, if we take like sector by sector, like L1s and all that stuff, I just think Saga hasn't had its time in the light, and that has Jump Crypto involved. And I'm just using Say Network as a recent example, right? Say had Jump Crypto in the cap table, and Say also went down, you know, 65%, just as Saga did. So yeah, my choice would probably be Saga. So
Bearish, man. Look at this
what is
chart.
that? Oh, inverted, of course.
Look at this. Look at this, Tommy. This is bearish. Tell me this isn't bearish. Tell me this pattern isn't bearish, man.
That does look bearish, but it looks like something that might fake another spike still down, and I don't know.
I mean, I think maximum you like set a lower high and then just
It looks like it's rounding out. Like that looks like distribution inverted.
Oh man, Michael Saylor sold some of his shares.
No way.
Yeah, he did. Valentin just tweeted about it.
Bro, he sells his shares all the time,
bro.
Yeah, what he does. He
Say
sells
what?
his shares every quarter.
Bro, he's unironically bearish MicroStrategy, bullish Bitcoin. He went out of MicroStrategy and into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Man.
If you're in MicroStrategy, pivot to Bitcoin.
I think at some point he probably pulls off an Elon Musk and just like dumps some BTC at some point.
He has to at some point, right? Like,
yeah, I think it happens this cycle. I think it happens. Oh yeah, of course. Sell Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he would. He would do that. So, so people are commenting about Caspa. This is like the 4th or 5th comment that I've seen. I forgot about Caspa, if I'm being honest, brother. Sailor is selling at the Pico bottom of this cycle.
We've been going for about an hour and a half, boys. I think it's about that time.
yeah.
Start the buses.
All right, let's start the buses, guys. Thank you once again for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Market Check. We also had our Market Talk host, King Wabi, present. Wabi, if you want to shill your show here, I'll let you do that real quick.
Yep, no problem. Today's show on Twitter Spaces is going to happen in about 2 hours. It's basically an audio version of Market Check if we were to simplify it, right? Myself and a panel of other speakers. We talk all things crypto market narratives, dubious speculation, price action, all that good stuff. It's usually hosted at 4:30 p.m. EST or at 2 p.m., 2:15 p.m. EST. So it's kind of like half and half, right? Kind of experimenting with some earlier times here. So, that's pretty much it, man. Just a short little blurb. And of course, every Thursday, I do my own live stream, usually at 2 p.m. EST. You can catch a replay of that under our live tab on the YouTube channel. Went live with XO yesterday for just over an hour, and that was pretty based, and we covered a lot of things which are pretty informative and educational. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Wabi. Also, a reminder that we have recently put out our trading course. That is BB Academy. You guys can hear from every single person on the team. We got a little bit of everything mixed in there as far as how to tackle markets. And right now we have a heavily discounted price on that for $199 per. But I'm serious when I say the price is going to go up soon. I mean, it's pretty, view it like a halving discount. But as you guys know, the halving is today, and we are coming. And as I've been telling you guys, like, we are going to raise the prices pretty substantially here very soon. So definitely get in on that discount if that's something that interests you. Like I said, you can hear from me, Max, Jackus, Will's Outlook, Tucker. We've all got sections in there to break down various aspects about the market. And yeah, but about Market Check, right? The show you guys are watching right now, we will, of course, return on Monday for another episode, as well as every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Same time every day. But we hope you guys enjoyed it. If it was your first time, if you haven't hit the like button on your way out, wouldn't hurt to consider it on the way out. But we appreciate y'all's support as always. We hope that you enjoyed the show. And more importantly, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, a fantastic weekend. Spend some time with your family. Try not to stress too much about the market. And we'll be back bright and early on Monday to see you guys. But thanks again.